Hey there and welcome to No Recipe Required. I'm Dave and tonight we're going to do another one of my favorite chicken dishes, chicken saltimbocca. Now this one, it has a nice kind of lemony sauce to it. We're going to do some sage on the chicken itself along with some prosciutto. It's absolutely a delicious dish, easy to do, and I think you're going to love it. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to start making our chicken saltimbocca. I'm going to pound out a couple chicken breasts. Now I like to use actually a wine bottle, wine drunk, filled back up with water. I find it a great tool for hammering out like this. I've got my chicken breast in between a couple sheets of paper, and I want to get it to like a 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little bit more than that, and nice even thickness so that it cooks at the same time. And once I get it pounded out like that, I'm going to bring the plastic up, and then what makes this dish super special is a little bit of prosciutto, which you just want to lay down there in kind of a single layer, and it will adhere pretty well. I've seen, sometimes I've used just kind of the back of the knife technique and pat it down like that, and it will adhere. You can also, if you want to get a little more reassurance, bring the plastic back and just give it a few more taps. You want to get however many breasts you're going to do, pound it out like that. We're going to dredge them in flour, and then we're going to sear these off. Okay, so got my chicken pounded out, got our prosciutto on chicken. Now notice I'm only doing one because I live in a household where only one person likes prosciutto, so you got that situation, leave it off. Not a big deal. You want to season both sides of that chicken with salt and with some pepper, fresh ground black pepper. And then on the prosciutto side, I like to, let me get rid of that. I like to throw, well, I don't like to, it's part of the recipe. Throw on a couple sage leaves. And again, you can use picks, toothpicks if you want. I find, if you just press them in, they do a pretty good job of staying on themselves. And then what we're going to do is just dredge that chicken. You may hold them while you flip it over. It's really only matters that they stay on as we dunk it into our frying pan. And just once that crust forms, that'll definitely help the sage stay on. So we're going to just coat our chicken with flour. I've got my pan on, and we can go ahead and saute these guys off. Okay, let's go ahead and get started cooking our saltimbocca. I'm going to start with a nice pan here, maybe non-stick. You certainly don't have to use non-stick. I just happen to grab this one. I'm going to coat with olive oil, and I'm going to throw a little butter in there as well, because butter is nice and tasty. Try not to scrape the bottom of the pan with your knife, like I did. Get it coated around, and we're going to grab our chicken with our prosciutto and sage, and lay it prosciutto and sage side down first. Nice and gentle. You should get a good little caramelization here, but I'm not looking for like the smoking hot pan. This is my other piece with the sage but without the prosciutto, because I don't want to burn that the pressure of the sage that's on there. I just want to get a nice little crust on. Don't overcrowd your pan. Let it go for probably 3 or 4 minutes on that side, and that the flour on the underside there, or on both sides, is going to create a nice crust that will give the dish a nice amount of texture. So after 3 or 4 minutes, we're looking for the same indicators on all seared chicken breasts. The opaque color coming up the sides of the chicken, the edges clearly looking like they're getting cooked. And you may want to use a spatula to flip this chicken and get really nice under there so you don't pull off the sage leaves. Grab it on the top, flip it over nice and gently. You can see everything's stuck very nicely. Now, you got a contaminated chicken hand here, so don't touch that nice piece. We'll get the other one flipped over. And we're going to go about the same amount of time on this side. Give me a chance to wash my hands. Okay, so once our chicken is cooked, we're going to have that nice crispy outside cooked just barely all the way through. I'm going to pull it out, and we'll finish our sauce in the pan. Okay, so our sauce for this recipe is super, super simple. If you got kind of too much oil in the pan, go ahead and dump it out. This is maybe just a touch, barely a touch too much. So we're going to toss it. I'm going to take and kind of deglaze the pan with just a little bit of nice, good quality white wine. Let that cook off. And this isn't really a sauce that I would say is, you know, heavy, overwhelming, all-encompassing sauce, kind of everywhere on the plate. This is really just like a little bit of essence of the wine, which will, and some chicken stock, some butter, some sage, just kind of drizzled right over the top. I'm going to come back once this is reduced, and we're going to add our chicken stock. Okay, wine is cooked down. I'm going to hit it with about the same amount of chicken stock. Let that reduce, along with just a little bit of squeeze of lemon. And I've got some extra sage leaves here that I'm just going to tear up and throw in there. You certainly could get in there with a knife and make it look all pretty, but I kind of like the look, and I certainly like the ease of just tearing it up. Once this reduces, you know, again by about half, we're going to finish it with a little butter, pour it over our chicken, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so our sauce is reduced. I just finished it with like a pat of butter, maybe a tablespoon of butter. I've got our Saltimbocca, which I was keeping, you know, in like a 200-degree oven, nice and warm. I'm just going to drizzle our sauce right over the top, and we're good to go. I will see you next time on No Recipe Required.